Well, howdy tubers, back at it again. Woke up this morning thinking that I would I guess last night thinking I'd go over and see my dad this morning at the rehab. But this morning I've had a little bit of a sore throat. And to get into the rehab place, that's one of the things they ask you, is if you have a sore throat. So I thought that might not be the best place to go. So I have going to do a little bit on, hopefully maybe a lot on the Ultra Cruiser today. I just took the windshield out and marked around here where the fairing would be, and then trimmed it off, and also trimmed off around the outer edge to expose, well, not really expose, but you can see through the windshield to see the 1/2-inch aluminum square tubing underneath there. So now, and then I also went ahead and removed the inside piece of protective material there. So now I'm going to lay out the rib spacing for doing the windshield bow, and get to drilling them, and then drilling into the windshield bow. And then of course then you've got to go back and drill the holes in your plastic, I'll say 1/16 of an inch bigger than what the rivet is. And of course, all around here, you use the large-headed rivets that come in your kit, or for the scratch builders. I'll say, I don't know if I said it before or not, but I suggest the scratch builder guys go ahead and buy the Hummel's hardware package, and then those would come in there with that. Now, where I differ from how everybody else does it, and I did it on the first Ultra Cruiser, but then I was told, and I still don't think it matters, but I was told when I went and bought a sheet of this Lexan, which I found out that if you buy a 4x10 or 4x10, or is it 4x8? Maybe it's 4x8 sheet. If you bought a half a sheet, it's like, I don't know, $27 or something. But if you buy the whole sheet, it's like $32. Now I may be way off on that, but it's a heck of a lot cheaper just to go ahead and buy a full sheet. But they was telling me, because on the first Ultra Cruiser, and probably 2 or 3 windshields into there after it's over 1,600 hours of flying, I'd replace the screen periodically. But because once this is in there, where's it going to go? It can't pop out here unless the windshield gets bent back that far, but I think you're going to know that. But anyway, and this is just me. I'm not telling everybody to do it. But I don't put rivets in here because I just feel that that's just giving it another place to crack. And I guess, of course, they say this Lexan doesn't crack, but it does get haze marks in there from being bent around here, and I guess the sun and all that. But on my first Ultra Cruiser, I put black silicone in there after I already went around and drilled all my holes, got it all ready to go in, and then I shot some black silicone in there, and then shoved the windshield into it, and then shot my rivets, and that was it. And it was good. But like I was saying, at the Lexan place here in Kansas City, they said that the chemicals or whatever in that silicone, or RTV, whatever you want to call the stuff, affects the Lexan. So in the H5, I didn't put anything in there. I just left it. And that's what I guess I'll do here. But I don't think it makes any difference because it still gets the crazes in here after, you know, sitting outside or in the, just being in the sun or whatever. It still gets crazed, and, you know, and in my case, I've had to replace it, which it's, again, it's not that big of a deal to replace it. Let's see what else I was going to say about it. Hang on there. I remember now. Okay, now I did sand along this bottom edge all the way around there on my belt sander. Sanded all the way around there, get that smooth, and then I ran that edge over the Miracle Wheel. Now I haven't done this edge around the windshield bow because it's really close, but I still may just trim it off just a little bit with something. And if I got to do that, then I might as well just leave it like it is. And then after I trim it off more perfect, well, then I'll clean it up with a Miracle Wheel or something to smooth it up. So anyway, maybe I'll just go ahead because I think I want to go ahead and get my seat in here and get my seat belts in here, which is different than what Hummel says, but that's where I like them, so that's where I'm going to put them. So anyways, and maybe I'll get around to going ahead and putting that little piece of aluminum. I'm going to cut it off and make me a throttle stop. So I think I'll do what I've done with that 22-minute video. Instead of making all these little short ones, we'll just gang them all together. So there you go until the next video. Okay, well, I got these drilled at 2-inch spacing. And of course I got that one in there. That one I'm not going to put one of the big rivets in there because it's not against the rivet head isn't against the Lexan. So I got that done on both sides and got these holes drilled in the edge there after I drilled those, then put the windscreen back on there and mark where those holes are. Now, I'll just tell you that I use one of these Harbor Freight step drills to drill that Lexan. I know, well, I don't know that it even says anything about that. In the Scratch Builder's plans, it tells about grinding the drill bit to a different angle to drill the. Now they may be talking about plexiglass instead of Lexan, but I gotta tell you, I've just had good luck doing it with the step drill. So I guess anyway, well, here's the 2-inch spacing for around the windshield bow. So step 4, I mean, remove all parts and subassembly deburr, and I did deburr the back side of the windshield itself, and then I got in between the fairing and the bow there. Got in between the fairing and the bow there and deburred that hole, and then I took air and blew out whatever shavings I could see inside there. And so right now I'm going to Cleco the bad boy on there. I'll just pause this one and do that. Okay, there we go. Now remember, those holes in the Lexan are bigger diameter. I'll say maybe 5/32 holes. so that it can expand and contract, and the rivets won't hold it totally. So now let me see if I can find the big-headed rivets and a couple regular AVEX and put them in there. Maybe we'll just do that with a video or on that dealie. Oh yeah, my airplane's got balls. See if anybody knows why. Okay, man, it sounds like it is windy out there. Outside. I know my air compressor isn't on, so it's not a whole lot of pressure here. And I'm using my gun with the flat set on there to do those rivets. But I'm going to use my one I mark. You can see that. That's got the drilled for the button head, and I write button head on there, and that's what I'll do this rivet with. Since that's not against the aluminum, I mean that's not against the Lexan. I know, boring. It's about as much fun as watching grass grow, isn't it? Now I put my flush one back in there. And that one I might have to do. Yeah, I might have to do a little work on that one. Well, okay, well that's half of it. I won't bore you with the rest of it. I'll have to kind of trim that hole out a little bit. Guess I misaligned that one, but I'm going to call it quits on windshield then. Of course, got to pull the covering off, but you'll see that in another video. And I did start this, didn't I? Yep, okay, it's going. So we'll get to Spike here, Hummel Aircraft Company over here. So there we go. I'll combine this with the other video and have about a 12-minute video or something. So there you go. Please like and subscribe and God bless. There you go.